Hi everyone, my name is Janie and I want to introduce you all to Fionuala, the owner of Cottage Gardens of Petaluma. And Fionuala, what are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about clematis.
Oh, I love clematis.
They are the most amazing flowers. If you are gardening and you like to grow vertically, this is like the original vertical garden.
Vertical garden.
Yeah, vertical flower garden. All they need is some afternoon shade, something to climb on, and they're going to give you the best blooms.
I love them. They're so beautiful. And your billboard down, it's the clematis, right?
It sure is.
I associate Cottage Gardens of Petaluma with clematis because of your billboard that you put up.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at all the kinds you have.
I grow probably 60 or 70 varieties throughout the year.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's up to about 100. If there's a couple of unusual ones that I have to just add in to try out,
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. And right now I've got probably my favorite 50.
Ooh.
Yeah, I picked
You've really narrowed it down, Fionuala.
my favorite 50, yeah.
So what do you call this area right here? This is the clematis area?
This is the clematis area. As you can see, we grow them under shade
Yes.
because you really need to give them afternoon shade around here.
To protect them a little
To
bit.
protect them.
Yeah.
They don't like to be in a super windy area either.
Oh, okay.
So if you see this particular area, it's sheltered from the sun, it's sheltered from the wind. And right now they're growing on bamboo poles, but they need something else much taller
Okay.
pretty soon.
So this isn't enough for them.
This is not enough.
You need to take them home and give them something else, which I see you have one growing over here in this beautiful pot. Oh my goodness. What is this one growing?
This one has an odd name. It's called Boulevard Samaritan Joe.
That is an odd name.
It's a very odd name. It's one of the prettiest ones you're ever going to see, though. It is this crisp, silvery white with little purple edges. You're going to have to come back and see in a couple of weeks.
We'll throw a photo up of it right now too. Yeah.
Oh, it's just an amazing thing.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. So that type of structure would be good for one of these to grow on.
That type of structure is really good for some of the shorter ones.
Oh.
Boulevard Samaritan Joe is one of the lower growing ones. It still gets about 6 to 8 feet tall, though.
Okay.
So this spiral is perfect for it. We need to tie it back in every now and again because it does want to go elsewhere. Most of the others want to be, 8 to 10, sometimes 12 feet tall.
Wow.
I have it all listed on every one of them, what they're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll know what type of structure you should have.
Exactly. And I'm happy to help you with it because, this is one of the things we really specialize in and I really want success for everybody.
Yeah. What a fun thing to specialize in, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, how beautiful. So show me, what's your favorite one out of these 50?
Out of the 50, my current favorites
this week's
are,
favorite.
Yeah. Boulevard Samaritan Joe for a shortish one.
Oh, okay.
I've got one over here that is just amazing, Ville de Lyon. She gets about 12 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
Stunning blooms. It is just incredible.
So 12 feet tall in one season?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
It's
That's amazing.
And we use this for cut flowers, for display, for it's just a stunning plant.
Wow.
It's not subtle, not for the love of the subtle. It's really
who likes
very
subtle?
bright. Yeah, exactly.
Who likes subtle?
And it's also super easy to grow. It's like one of those, no-fail, great beginner clematis.
Oh, great.
Really recommend this one.
So that might be one that I need to take home.
Yes, do. And let me know how you do with it. It's really a good one.
Okay, awesome. I mean, the pink color is just incredible.
Plus the anthers in the center.
Yeah.
And it has a very light barring in the middle of each petal that is super pretty.
So if I was to take one of these home, how would I plant it? What would be the best way to plant it?
You want to start with afternoon shade.
Okay.
Rich soil.
Okay.
Picture all the growth it's going to do this year. It's going to get up to 12 feet tall. It's going to give you a ton of blooms.
Yeah.
It needs good, rich soil to start with.
Okay.
If you have gophers, I do recommend a gopher cage, protect.
Okay.
Just because it's so spectacular, you don't want it just to keel over dead from a gopher.
Yeah.
Regular water is vital with these.
Okay.
Again, picture the growth it's going to do.
It needs
And
some
the
water.
leaves are so lush. Something this lush and this full of flowers is going to need regular water.
Okay. So amending my soil
Hmm.
before with compost or something like that.
Yeah.
Would you put any fertilizer in when you plant it?
You know, you could, or we've already started off with fertilizer at this point.
Okay.
Um, I'll talk about fertilizer in a minute when I tell you about our pruning method that I
Oh,
really
yeah.
recommend.
So that's a whole nother thing that kind of confuses me a little bit because
Yeah.
I know that there's different groups of clematis and you have to know what group you have for pruning. Is that right? Am I right about that?
You are right. That's the general knowledge that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
With our experience of growing them for like 30 something years, we have changed it up a little bit to simplify both our lives and the lives of all the gardeners who shop here.
Okay, tell me.
Um, I will tell you, apart from the evergreen ones and the clematis in the Montana group,
Okay.
and some of the little scramblers, which I won't even talk about today, what we do is we prune them just twice a year.
Okay.
So you get this, you take this home, you let it get up to its full height this year,
Mm-hmm.
let it bloom away. When you see more seed heads and flowers on it,
Mm-hmm.
or when you're really done with the whole thing and you're just seeing seed heads, then you cut it back by half
Oh.
and you feed it at that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What would I feed it then?
At that point, I always recommend a good, well-balanced fertilizer,
Okay.
like a 1616 or a 555,
Got it.
depending on the one that you generally use.
Okay.
So you cut it back by half. And then it's going to produce a whole other flush of growth and a whole other flush of blooms.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
super cool. So if you're a florist,
Yeah.
this is really great. You know, you're going to get two huge flushes of amazing blooms.
Beautiful
Yeah,
blooms.
it's really great. Keeps it simple too.
Yeah, that really does simplify it rather than knowing
I
the
know.
group kind and how I should do this. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's very confusing for me sometimes. So pretty much all of the clematis that you sell here, except for the Montana and the evergreen, which we'll show you in a minute,
Hmm.
you're going to cut back by half.
By half after the first flush of blooms.
Okay, what about the second flush?
All right, so then it's going to do it all over again. You got big, beautiful plant way up there, and this might be October or November at this point
Okay.
that it's still blooming for you.
That's crazy.
I
Really?
know, I know.
Oh my
We had a
gosh.
bloom over there at Christmas last year. I
No.
know, because we didn't get frost. So,
That's amazing.
yeah. So then what happens at that point, winter comes in and you get a bunch of brown twigs and dead foliage, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of like sort of icky looking.
Yeah.
You leave it alone for a little while longer, and in January, you cut it back down, but this time much lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So closer to the ground the second time.
Closer to the ground. So about 18 inches, 2 feet,
Okay.
somewhere in there. The plant actually sort of tells you,
All right.
and you're going to cut to buds, to a pair of buds, basically.
Okay.
The plant will tell you.
You'll kind
You'll
of
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know
Got
what you're
it.
looking at. And you cut it back way far and you haul away all that debris. At this point, you got like armloads of debris
Yeah.
because it's been so flowery for you.
Wow.
Yeah,
How exciting.
it really is exciting.
Do you fertilize after the second time?
You do.
Oh, okay.
And this is kind of mid-January or so. Keep an eye on your weather and where you are and expected frost. You don't really want to prune it back too soon or feed it too soon in case it's going to get frosty all over again and nip that new growth in the,
Got it.
you know.
So you want to be a little bit close to your last frost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what we did this year is we did prune at the end of January, but we've got 6 or 7 of them out there. By the time we finished, it was middle or end of February. All of it worked out fine.
It was fine.
It was all fine.
So just kind of keep an eye on the frost if we're having a really cool winter. Might want to wait a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Again, the weather's going to tell you and the plant is going to tell you. If you leave it a little too long, you're going to start seeing new growth on those dead looking twigs. You're going to
Yeah.
start seeing new growth. Then you know you have to prune it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens if you just don't prune it? Will it just get crazy and a mess?
It's kind of crazy and messy. It's more messy. It's not going to kill it.
Okay.
It's just messy looking. You've got all the brown growth and then the new growth trying to look all fresh and beautiful.
Okay. All
You
right.
know, just saying.
So it's not the end of the world, but you'll appreciate it more if you prune it back.
Exactly.
So
Good
twice a
way to
year.
Yeah.
That does make it so much easier.
Doesn't it? I know.
Yeah. It's
It becomes more accessible and less threatening and
Yes.
yeah, you feel like I can do this. This is not
Sometimes
hard.
pruning is really intimidating, so to make it simple really makes it so much easier.
Exactly.
Can you show me the Montanas and the evergreen?
Yes. Actually, I don't have any evergreen
Oh,
right
you
now.
don't?
We totally sold out of them.
Oh,
Montanas are over here. There's more coming next week, though. These are the Montanas. You can see they call them the
pretty.
anemone, and they're fragrant, which is super nice.
They're beautiful.
And I only have the white right now, but a little later in the season, I'm going to have a pink variety of
Oh,
that one.
pretty. So oh, 40 feet tall?
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
I
that's
know.
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So how would I prune back these? These are different than the evergreen ones.
These are the ones you're going to grow up a tree or over, you grow up a tree through a tree, and you just let them go,
You don't worry about
basically.
it. So
You
these
just
are
don't-
pretty easy.
These are really easy. Now you can prune them, just cut them by half whenever you feel like it
Okay.
to keep the flowers where you want to.
Okay.
But in general, you just kind of leave them be. It blooms on 1-year-old stems. So the real only pruning that you're going to be doing is if it's really messy or you can see some dead growth in there, just to tidy up
Okay.
and redirect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want kind of a fuss-free one, this
This
one,
is the one.
and
Yeah.
the evergreen is pretty too. Is that the Clematis armandii, the evergreen?
Yes.
Okay.
Armandia is one of them, and then we do have a couple of others coming on later in the season. Avalanche, and then another strange name, Cartmanii Joe. Cartmanii, early sensation.
Fun.
Yeah, I know.
Fun. So if I really wanted one of the clematis that you don't have in quite yet, do you have a wish list? Do you have
I do. I have a whole page dedicated to clematis. So the
a
wish
whole
list,
page?
a whole page, yeah.
So say there was a variety that I wanted that you didn't have just yet. Do you all have like a wish list?
I do. I have a whole page dedicated to clematis.
A whole page?
Yeah, it's got its fan club, I tell you. And
You guys really do specialize in clematis here, huh?
we really, really do. Right from the beginning, clematis has been one of our favorite things to grow. And yeah, so like this is what I have right now, but there's a lot more coming on.
How exciting.
More varieties, and then sometimes, I'm obsessed myself. If I see something unusual, I might buy it in.
Oh, funny.
I know.
Just autumn, yep, I need that. Yep, I need
Exactly.
that.
I've never heard of that one. We should try it out.
That's fantastic.
So I have a whole wish list page just for clematis, so you can put your name down, and if and when I find it or grow it or it's ready to come out from the growing grounds, we give you a call.
You guys grow some of these?
We grow all of these.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I missed that whole thing. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
my
You grow
goodness.
these clematis?
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of these, we grow them ourselves.
The reason why I think that that's such a good thing is because that means these plants have been acclimated to the weather here in Petaluma. So these plants are going to be so much happier when you purchase them and you plant them in your garden because they were born here.
Exactly.
Basically.
They were born in the growing grounds right over
How
there.
fantastic,
Yeah.
Fionnuala. That is so neat. Well, I have to say, you're getting me excited about clematis.
Good.
I'm going to get my hands on that pink one over there.
Yay.
It's so
Wonderful.
beautiful. And again, we are at Cottage Gardens of Petaluma. I will put all the contact information for the Garden Center Nursery in the description down below. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.